I love what I'm doing, I love where I am, but I think I haven't achieved my dream. And I always watch boxing because my dream was to boxing. That was like my motivation to watch Mike Tyson on YouTube, because that's when I never watched a fight live, because I grew up in Africa and I didn't have a damn TV, nothing like that. I didn't like my life, and I always feel like I miss my childhood. Like it's something missing in it, because it's been too much frustration in my life. Like I had to work by that age, and it wasn't enough. Like when school starts all the time, I'm gonna go to school, and most of the time still didn't have a pen to take note or a notebook to write on it. Sometimes no shoes or clothes, just have to wear like my uniform was tear all over. I was frustrated to look around and see other kids looking good. They went in vacation to this family member, came back with all brand new stuff, and I was just there looking crappy with I had to like take my old book and look for an empty page to take a note, hoping that when I have a book, I'll copy the note from this year in the new book. After a few weeks, this DJ Carmon, who was the guy who I met first, told me like, look, listen man, you look really good. You have a very good boxing, but I'm gonna tell you something. I think the thing that you can do now, the most important thing who can help you to get out of this situation could be MMA. I was talking about like when I was kid, dreaming about somebody who could come there and do something for us, and unfortunately that person never came. And at some point, I think it was like 3 years or 4 years ago, and now I'm like, because when you grow up, I don't know if you have that feeling, but I always have this feeling of my childhood missing. Like there is something that I still have to fill up in my childhood box. It's been a long road, nobody could have imagined basically from looking back from my life that we're gonna get here. Today I have to talk with great people around the world, such as you. Right now they are having having fight for me basically with the trilogy between Stipe and DC, because I should be next on the title line, but since they want to do Stipe and DC, that complicate. I can see that when I go back home in Cameroon. I can see like in people's eyes like, oh, bring us that belt. I mean, they weren't gonna have it. They are not going to have the belt, but the meaning of it, the hope, the expectation, the thing that comes behind that, because they know my story. I'm not a fairy tale that they are reading in the book or watching on the movie. They know my story. Most of them even know me growing up with them in those situations. So it's kind of like very motivating, and also it could be like very inspiring for those kids who are back there in the same situation. What can they do? Right. Nothing, because most of the time it's gonna be even with the money that I work that they're gonna buy my pen or my book. Yeah. But you work sometime and they don't pay you right away. It's maybe after months, so all the process. And sometimes they'll just kick you out from the school because of the scholarship fee. At the point that when I go somewhere, if I sat here, somebody, he will just change his wallet and put on this side. I'm like, this kid is so ambitious. It's gonna end up bad, Nobody never understand like what was my dream. I'm like, I just have to change this situation. I just have to be something else. I believe that I can make my own destiny. I mean, nobody says it will be easy, but it's still possible, and that always my thought. And I think that's one of the things that make me decide to make the change. I had two different feelings from that fight. First, obviously, I was very upset and disappointed that I didn't win the fight. And, as everyone who is fighting for the title, you want to get out there as a victorious. But to be honest, I always look in that fight, and since fight day, just after the fight, I look at it and I'm like, this is good. Like, I learned just too much in that fight. not even time, a octagon time to learn, to understand what's really going on. Then now I'm just like, get there, I'm like, okay, let's fight this guy. Suddenly the guy is down. I'm like, what really happened? I don't care, he's down. Then I get in that fight and it was something different. By the moment that I left that octagon, I knew that, I have a better understanding of the game from more than what I have learned in the past 4 years. It was clear for me, it was set that I'm gonna become a world-class boxer. That was set more than 10 years ago, But I wanted a right opportunity because I realized that in Cameroon, I cannot have that opportunity. That thing that I'm looking for, I can't have it there. But I cannot just sit there and then wait for something to happen. No, I have to do something. Guess what? That was our opportunity when they don't want to work, so we have a chance to work. Otherwise, they will come back to their job. We will not have job, So that was a good opportunity to work under the rain all the time, like get back home shaking because all day long it's been raining, so you have to stay active.